Is this set worth it? Find out in this video. What is up, everybody? Nick Lego Stava here, and in this video a lot is going to be going on. This is the Transformers Dramatic Capture Series Nemesis Bridge set. It took a long time to get this. I pre-ordered it back in February of this year at the time of recording, and it's just now coming. As a lot of these sites do, they almost have faulty advertisement, is what I call it, of when they legitimately say a pre-order is going to come in a lot sooner than it does, and then it takes forever. But it's finally here. It almost looks like this box is like damaged somewhat. Is that how it's supposed to be? Or is that discoloration? I don't know. That don't look right to me. So hopefully it's not a bad sign of what's going to be inside. I swear, if this set's messed up or if there's some like big paint app mishaps, I'm going to be mad. But yeah, I know videos haven't been cranked out as much as I used to. It's really just because, I mean, the prices of Transformers have went up. I'm going to try to unbox this on camera. I just had to grab that the right way so I didn't rip it. But honestly, it's because of the price increases of Transformers. And stores really not even getting new stock. They literally just have the same stuff in them for months and months and months around here because no one wants to pay the new prices that are too high. And nobody buys the stuff. Same stuff shelf warming. So here's what it's looking like right out of the box. This is looking pretty good. I am glad that is a lighter color purple. From the initial images, it almost looked like it was going to be that ultra dark, same as the other one. I will be in this video comparing every single one of these to their other counterparts, as well as transforming them and showing them in both modes. So there's going to be a lot to go over in this video, so hopefully you stay tuned. Alright, everything is unboxed. This is everything you get in the package. You get G1 style Megatron, G1 style Shockwave, G1 style Soundwave, and some of their accessories that was initially sold as a leader class in Seige and had a bunch of other nonsense on it that gave them extra arms and all that. I mean, it's kind of cool, but yeah, definitely simplified. And then they give you that throne. Pretty sure it's the same one from Studio Series 86 Starscream. I have that sitting in a box deep in storage, so I'm not going to have that to compare the chair. But all the other figures I will compare to most of their other counterparts. So let's move the throne out of the way for now, because we won't worry about that yet. So let's talk about some of the negatives right off the bat. So, of course, Hasbro had to pull some of their faulty advertising. This whole thing was supposed to be silver up here. It is not. It is just unpainted gray plastic that, you know what? If this one has a yellowing problem like Earthrise had a yellowing problem, I'm going to have a Hasbro problem. That's what's going to occur here. Like if this stuff yellows and this stuff yellows like their plastic was with a bunch of figures from just a couple years ago, we're going to have problems. Because at this price point, this part up here should have been painted. I'm literally going to have to custom paint that right off the bat because it's literally frustrating. Because that's right at the front of the figure, right at the front of Megatron. On camera, it doesn't even look as bad, but it still looks bad. It looks worse in person. Now, I'm not trying to be super negative, but when you're paying over $100 for a set of 3 figures, you really hope for them to have all the special paint apps that they can. Alright, especially because they wasted a paint app on the legs. These didn't even need to be painted. This really just needed to be black plastic, in my opinion, or super dark gray. But honestly, this was a wasted paint app, and this should have been painted. But we'll move on from that. On this Soundwave here, this painting looks pretty good. There are some parts left out of the paint on the arm there. None of this is retooled, by the way. This is the same exact Megatron mold you got in Earthrise. This is the same exact mold that you got from Netflix Soundwave that was exclusive to Walmart, and then they dropped it on Hasbro Pulse for a while. But yes, but the paint apps are different on these. That's really the only difference you're getting. No retooling, none of that. Just the same figures in a bundle pack. So yes, let's detach this from the arm here and just go over some of the other stuff here. Around this, I see some scratching on my copy and kind of light silver paint. Like you can almost see the regular non-painted underneath it. So that kind of sucks. And then of course they didn't retool it to put arm flaps there. I'm going to have to 3D print them and do all that. This part doesn't like to lock in, so it's just flipping and flipping around. And then this part is from Soundwave, but it gives the little shoulder gun area how Megatron's supposed to have. And yeah, they didn't really even paint this side of the treads. They didn't even put black detailing for the treads. So there's still going to be a lot of custom painting I'm going to have to do to this. Because I had thought of, the only reason I got this set, I thought about getting the Earthrise Megatron on eBay and then just custom painting it. I'd actually had that thought a long time ago. But then I saw this set and I was like, yeah, the frustration of what that would be compared to what this would just be, getting the set and then getting the other figures, is just probably worth it, honestly. But definitely seeing this in person, it is a little bit of a letdown, and I was really hoping to have a big positive video on this, but I don't know, you just got to be honest. And yeah, this definitely could have used some more paint. These could have been painted black on the inside as well. There's just a lot. And also, since this mold has been used for this G2 Megatron, and now, well, I meant to say Earthrise this, but people are going to click off the video if I talk stupid. But yeah, there's that. And then I will also compare them to their animation models here. So there's what Megatron's looking like right there. See, I don't know why they painted the silver on the legs. It could have just been a dark gray color. It looks kind of stupid as that. Also, the side skirts, there are 3D print upgrade side skirts I will be putting on it. But yeah, it definitely looks pretty good. I guess in the animation model, he didn't have the black there, but I think I might just put the black there. We'll see. But yeah, here's already the Seige version. This one had a decent amount of silver paint. It is different color. This is more of a gunmetal gray silver, and this is more of a regular silver on this new one here. So if you're upgrading from this, for a while those were deeply discounted at Walmart's, and then they had some other version that was similar with slightly different paint apps that went like super sale on all over the place. And then this 3D printed one, I'm going to put this on this because it's more of an accurate one. But that's what that's looking like compared to this. None of the articulation is different. It's still all the articulation. No wrist rotation was added, so that's still GIMP. On Megatron, that would have been a nice addition, but like I said, no real upgrades other than paint apps. Don't do a thrust bump there, Megatron. It's also noticeably loose, of course, because that's just traditional Hasbro these days, that you're going to have to tighten it up with floor polish. And there goes to the back of the legs, and what the back of these are looking like. I honestly thought I was going to see this and just be super blown away, but I mean, it's decent. I mean, I'm glad I got it because it will be an upgrade over that, at least in terms of accuracy. But these loose legs and stuff are pissing me off already. I'm not going to punch this one across the room like I like to do in the videos sometimes, but this piece is unpainted as well. Just these other parts forming pieces for Megatron that go on in alt mode. Let's move that out of the way. Let's go over here. So this is a slightly lighter purple. I have two other figures to compare this with. I have the Seige one, and I have the, what I call the Walgreens one. I don't really, Steel Battalion, was that what that line was called that one's in? That's what that's looking like. I honestly still prefer the Steel Battalion one, because that doesn't have this freaking overdone panel lining, but it does have quite a bit less articulation. But with the right 3D print upgrades, that figure can be massively upgraded. And this is only like $13 if you can still find it at Walgreens, which would not surprise me. And then over here you have the Seige one. That one had all that extra bulk. I will take that off and just directly compare them. It is a much darker purple color on the Seige one. But let me take off all this stuff. It's also ultra dusty because it's literally just been sitting out. But you got his feet boosters, so they could call him leader class. And all this other stuff on him. His extra arms. Pop those off. Get off there. Yeah, and then you had this ultra... Wait, did they retool this? I might be wrong. It actually does look like they did some slight retooling, because this part on the Seige is different. So maybe they actually did some retooling. Let's move this off to the side. I stand corrected. They did do some retooling. So you had an even bigger backpack on the Seige version than you do on the new version. So let's lay these other ones down here and just primarily focus on this. I guess I didn't even realize that yet. Unless other stuff pops off there, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they did retool that. So look at that, a smaller backpack for the altered alt mode. So I guess that is one thing they retooled. This pipe is also purple instead of black that they went on the Seige version. And yeah, other than that, it is a marked improvement. Which one should I use in my stop motion series? This one would be a lot easier to animate. This one still kind of looks better to me. I mean, it's not like it's freakishly big compared to what Megatron would be. I mean, it's not too bad. But yeah, that's your comparison of them. Then let's compare Soundwave. I'm just going to move everything off of the table for this. So here is a new one. I'm going to not get these confused because that one has a silver painted on the arms and none of the other ones do. So here we go. We have Seige and Netflix. So here they are. Seige, you had the battle damage. There was a third version of this that was the Seige mold, but without the battle damage on it. I think that was just a legacy mainline, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen, it looks like they almost went with darker red plastic for the eyes for the light piping. I wish they would have just got painted eyes. That would have just been better, because I am actually just going to paint the eyes on this since I already have the Netflix here. But yeah, you can see the light piping on that. Actually, it might just be because of the light. Let me scoot that over here for a second. No, even directly under the light in the same spot this is on the other side, it's definitely looking like a darker red plastic because I cannot get the light piping to even go through it. So that's kind of trash. Definitely should have been painted eyes. And you can also notice that this on the Netflix version had the yellow around the cassette area. This has that semi like goldish, yellowish color. I honestly kind of prefer the yellow. It just makes the figure pop a little more. But I guess that blends in everything a little bit more on it. And compared to the Netflix, I got cut off. I don't know what part I got cut off. Hopefully not freaking too far ago. This does not have the red around it like this does. It has the silver on the tip. It didn't have silver on the back when I pushed it through. I'll actually just push it back. So you can see the back is unpainted, but they painted the front of it. But sadly, no red streaks on that. This it's all been custom painted on this. This was plain. This one actually naturally has it, but it only has a stripe on the front, and then this was painted on the front. And this one I have both painted. So it's still looking like I'm going to have to do some custom paint work to this. That seems to be the theme of this video. Almost, but just enough. Alright. I meant almost, but not enough. I'm done. Alright. So this has the flip over shoulder guns. The Netflix didn't have that, so then this doesn't have that. So yeah, there's that. Let's do a quick loop around on the fronts and backs. The blues look just slightly different. That could be down to just molding. The colors are going to vary slightly. But yeah, let's move that. That shoulder's always been super tight on my copy. But yeah, the blues slightly vary, but they're all probably the same mix of blue. It just kind of is luck of the draw on what shade you might get. It could be slightly lighter, slightly darker. Just like in that Earthrise Prime video a long time ago. It's like, the colors slightly changed, but it's really just mold variation in the amount of plastic that's in the color. So yeah, it's sad that this isn't painted, but other than that, I have no clue where it is for the Seige one, but I doubt it was painted either. So there's him, Soundwave. And let's compare it to the animation model real quick. You also do get Laserbeak. I'll compare those as well to the other version. I thought you were also going to get another cassette bot, but I guess not. Alright, so let's go over to Soundwave here. And that's what that's looking like. So it is nice to see that they did paint the red on the arms, but you can see the gun is supposed to be painted red, and they did not do that. Let me actually make that image larger. Look at that. That's something that they skimped out on that could have easily been done that I'm going to have to do to this. Come on now. Come on now. See, I'm pointing out everything about these figures. So there's that. Let's compare the laser beaks to see if there's any changes on this. This does have a 3D print upgrade that just pops on and off for transformation. But yeah, the laser beak really doesn't look much different. Like, it might be a slightly more vivid red, but it also could be because my other one's a little dusty. So yeah, it doesn't look like any extra paint apps on that. Let's compare the faces here. That's looking the same. You got the Decepticon symbol on the head, Decepticon symbol on the head, yellow eyes. So yeah, it's more or less the same exact laser beak, maybe a slightly more vivid red, but yeah. So there's that. Let's pop this in the chest. It was honestly hard to get him out of the packaging because you'd try to grab him there and it would just open that. And you can't grab it by this because you'll probably easily break that clear plastic. So yeah, let's pop that in there. Opens and closes just the same as these other ones. This one might have a hard thing because I put that gun in there. Oh, actually opens and closes just fine. This one the same. That's another cassette bot. So yeah, there's that, and that's what it looks like with this little Rumble that I also had a paint app mishap on when I got it. Doesn't even have the Decepticon symbol. Never did a review of it because I would have ranted and been pissed off. But yeah, there's Soundwave. So I would say this Nemesis capture set, if you don't have any of these other figures, it's probably worth getting. But I don't know. I pre-ordered this a long time ago, and it took a long time to come. So maybe you could swoop in right now and pick it up somewhere and not have to worry about having your friggin' over 116, 120 something after tax for this set held hostage for a long time before you even have the figures in hand. So yeah, let's put the other ones up there, and I guess I'll sit Megatron in his throne. Let's move that off to the side. Sit Megatron right in his throne. Oh, just pop that off. You don't even have enough area to sit his ass on there if you have that on there. So yeah, there's Megatron in his throne with his arms popping off because everything is loose on here. Get sitting, Megatron. Okay, he's going to be almost getting up from his chair because he can barely sit in it. But yeah, disregard what I said about retooling. That part actually did pop off. I was looking at that. I was like, there's no way that other part pops off. It does. So it is the same thing. Nothing has been retooled. I was right. My initial gut feeling was right. So yes, this is compared to the animation model. The animation model does not have the backpack at all. But yeah, for a second there, I was like, maybe they did a little something. But no, they really didn't. So there's that one. And then here's the Steel Battalion one, also compared. I mean, the colors on the new one are a little closer, but there's something about the Steel Battalion one that just looks really good. Just probably the simpleness of not having all the panel lining and just looking big and imposing. For those staying tuned, here are a couple more comparisons. Of course, we got Earthrise custom painted Optimus Prime, G2 Megatron from Generation Selects, and the new Nemesis Bridge Megatron. This one, I mean, it is in garish colors, but it does look more cohesive as a figure and just definitely looks cool. I didn't put the G2 symbol on there. I don't like the G2 symbols. Put the regular one on there. But this one has painting around the treads. You really think, I mean, since they already had the tooling to paint that part, that they would have on this, but they didn't. It's literally just gray. That's going to look awful in vehicle mode, but we will compare. And here it is in tank mode. This definitely shows you the difference in what paint apps can do. And I even transformed this one slightly different because I don't know where I put the parts forming pieces for this one. But look at this. None of the treads, not even the insides of the treads are painted. They were double painted. The treads part were painted black, and then it even had more detailing across that on the G2 version here. And then onto the back of this, there's where that parts forming piece goes. It could be extremely easy to scratch this top part while putting in that parts forming piece. So if I ever do transform this again, which is not even that likely for this G1 version of Megatron to transform into this, I will probably not put in the parts forming piece. And it really doesn't look too bad without this other parts forming piece. I mean, that makes it look like more of a tank from the front, but here it is over here. I just have it with the fusion cannon flipped around like that. So yeah, both of them have the moving tank area here. Just got to kind of be careful. All that is nicely silver on the front of that, but honestly, I wish they made that other part painted silver. I just don't know why they didn't do that. For robot mode, it looks like trash. But yeah, there it is. Maybe that's why they painted the front of the legs more of a silverish color to blend in better in tank mode that so few people are ever going to really even have them in. But yeah, the G2 one, the garish colors distract from this not even being that great of a tank alt mode with the feet hanging out of the back. They could have retooled that to do something different, like maybe even making the ankle tilt more so they flip in more and flip into each other. Just something. They could have did something, but they didn't. So yeah, both of them roll abysmally and pretty much slide most of the time. So yeah, there is Megatron's tank mode. Here they are in totally not laser mode with Shockwave here. the comparisons of what this mode looks like, and then I'll pop the other parts on here. But yeah, this is totally just a ship, right? It's totally just a ship still. Yeah, without even all this extra stuff put on it. So yeah, that's that mode. It does look nicer with the new colors on that, even in alt mode. And then quickly, before I put it into ship mode, I will show you. There's what the animation model is. So they changed the gray part up there. There's what the G1 toy looks like, and I believe that had sounds and all that other stuff too. That new one, of course, does not have that. But then we'll actually turn this into something that resembles a ship, which was their intention. I can't even get this other part to pop out here. Jesus. I'm not even going to try to break that right now. We're just going to leave that there. And then this front part pops right onto here, and it covers up that kind of arm area that you see right there. And then you also even have the light piping to where the head is supposed to magically transform and shrink down there. So you have a false head like that. And then you pop these on the back for a ship. And just with all this extra parts forming is how they got a Voyager figure to leader class price. One of their favorite things to do nowadays. So yes, there is that. Now you could also put the ship mode parts on this. Of course, it just doesn't come with them. It still kind of would have been nice. I mean, especially because this is over $100 for 3 figures. Would have been nice to see. Okay, last but not least, we have Soundwave in alt mode. I don't have everything super pinned in because I really didn't want to scratch up some of the stuff that would obviously be an instant scratch if you plug it in to the tab area. So the plastic colors are just slightly changed. It's a lighter gray color than this, and this is just mildly yellowed on mine. Some copies have that stuff really yellowed that looks bad. But the lighter colors, I mean, the color matching on this to this gray is almost a little better. I wish it was all painted. It should be all painted, but it is not. Other than that, these are pretty much the same thing. I mean, you just see the slight color changes. I wasn't even going to transform it and do all the differences, but, you know, I had to do it. I couldn't be lazy. So there you go. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. I appreciate all my viewers. All that, you know how the weird YouTubers say, I love everybody. Like, that's just so weird. Just say you appreciate your viewers. That makes more sense. You can't love people you've never met. I mean, just being honest. Highly appreciated. Have a great one. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. Be sure to hit on notifications. Peace. Bye-bye. There's the Earthrise one as well. That's what most of them are looking like right now, with that yellowed on that neck part and other parts of the figure. That really better not happen to the parts on this. That would absolutely make it look like trash. And you could already see this isn't as egregious as I've seen it, but this part has yellowed on the thighs of the Netflix Soundwave here. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. I have a lot of other customs to show and all kinds of stuff on the channel, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you already are subscribed, be sure to put on notifications. Have a great one. Peace. Bye-bye.